My name is Wang Wei. They made me walk into the snow to die. I stood on that frozen plain outside Jiangnan City, wind cutting my face like a blade. Hundreds of people watched me. My allies. My people. The ones I protected for 5 years. They all wanted me dead. See, I have a power called foresight. I can see the future. For 5 years, I used it to warn everyone about disasters, to save lives. They called me the prophet. I was their hero. Then my ability slowed down. I could only use it once a year. And that's when the disaster offered a deal. Kill me, and humanity gets 30 years of peace. At first, nobody took it seriously. But then Qian Mingxuan, my girlfriend, asked me one night if the disaster would keep its promise. I looked into the future and told her the truth. Yes, it would. The next day, she told the whole Alliance Council what I said. After that, the vote was quick. Everyone agreed. I had to die. I could have lied. I could have said the disaster was bluffing. But I was the prophet. Billions of lives depended on my honesty. I couldn't fake a prophecy, even to save myself. Qian Mingxuan stood in front of everyone and announced that if even one person objected, the deal would be off. One voice could save me. Nobody said a word. Not one person. Instead, the crowd started yelling, "Do it! Hurry up! We want our peace!" I laughed. I couldn't help it. 5 years of sacrifice, and this was what I got. I looked at Jiangnan City one last time. My home. The place I swore to protect. Then I turned and walked into the snow. After 7 steps, my body broke apart like dust in the wind, and I was gone. The world cheered. Then I woke up screaming, soaked in sweat. I was in my old bedroom. My messy, familiar bedroom. My phone said July 28th, 2055, 7 days before the catastrophe even started. The day my power first awakened. I was reborn, sent back in time. I looked out the window. People walking around, cars on the road, the city alive and normal. It was real. Then the cold voice came again, just like before. Choose your ability. Option A, foresight. Option B, safe house. Last time, I picked foresight without thinking. I saved everyone. I became their prophet. And they kill me for it. Now I stared at those 2 choices in the fading light. This time I smiled. This time would be different. I chose B, safe house. Last time I picked foresight and spent 5 years saving everyone. They thanked me, worshipped me, then threw me away like trash. Not again. This time, I live for myself. My new ability is incredible. SSS rank. When I turn it on, everything within 100 square meters becomes completely safe. Nothing can hurt me inside. It lasts 3 days, then needs 3 days to recharge. And it can evolve. I activated it right away. A soft light spread across my apartment and disappeared. Then something strange happened. I could feel everything within that space. Every corner, every movement. I could even sense what was happening through the walls. The couple next door was arguing, and I could hear every word, see every gesture, clear as day. Inside the safe house, I was invincible. I stepped outside to get ready. 7 days until the end of the world. The safe house was unbeatable, but I still needed supplies. The neighborhood looked so peaceful. Kids playing, old people walking around. In 7 days, all of this would be gone. I took a taxi to an expensive restaurant downtown. Ordered everything I'd ever wanted to try. The bill was over 20,000 yuan. I didn't care. Between my credit cards and loan apps, I had hundreds of thousands available. Why save it? Nobody would be collecting debts after the apocalypse. Some woman at a nearby table called me a show-off. I just smiled. Sure, I'm a show-off. Last life, I was a selfless hero, and they killed me for it. This time, selfishness suits me fine. While eating, I maxed out every loan and credit line I could find. Over 300,000 yuan total. Then I went to an Apple store and bought the best phone they had. 0 down, installments. High interest? Doesn't matter. A last celebration before the world ends. Felt pretty good. I got home past 10. The moment I stepped back into the safe house, that sense of control returned. I could hear the neighbors talking again. The wife was teasing her husband about his performance. He was defending himself. Then she mentioned Mr. Wang. The husband exploded. My last name is Wang. He came pounding on my door, shaking with rage. I opened it calmly. Are you Mr. Wang? He demanded. Yes, come outside. If you want to talk, come in, I said. He tried to step inside, but something stopped him. He shivered, pulled his foot back, and stared at me with wide eyes. 3 seconds later, He turned and left without a word. Interesting. Did he sense the safe house? Before the disaster, some people awakened abilities early, but I didn't remember this neighbor being one of them. I let it go and started shopping online. From my memories of my past life, the first 3 months after the disaster would be brutal. Razor-sharp winds, deadly cold, lightning storms, red rain, dust storms, one after another. Even with my warnings last time, 30% of the world's population died. I spent everything I had, over 300,000 yuan on supplies. Quality over quantity. If I survived the first 3 months, resources wouldn't be a problem after that. Delivery would arrive within 3 days. Next morning, my phone woke me up. My boss was screaming at me for not showing up to work. I quit, I said, and hung up. The world was ending in a week. Why would I go to work? Besides, from what I remembered, my boss didn't survive the first day. I was about to put my phone down when messages from Qianmingshuan started flooding in. Where's breakfast? My friend and I are starving. Answer me. I stared at the screen and felt nothing but disgust. In my past life, I chased this woman for 3 years. 3 years of buying her meals, gifts, everything she wanted. She never said yes, never said no, just kept me around like a dog on a leash. She only agreed to be my girlfriend after the disaster, when I became the famous prophet. And then she was the one who exposed my secret and got me killed. I deleted her from my contacts. She called me from a number saved as backup 3. That's what I was to her, backup number 3. She used her usual trick, that soft, slightly hurt voice. Wang Wei, Nan, and I were waiting for breakfast. We're starving. She wanted me to feel guilty, to apologize, to come running. I called her by her full name. Qianmingshuan, your breakfast has nothing to do with me. Then I hung up. In my previous life, I spent over 100,000 yuan on her in 3 years. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, milk tea, gifts, holiday money. She took it all without a second thought. I was just her personal delivery service. Not anymore. Not a single cent this time. I wanted to watch her face the end of the world without me protecting her. In my past life, she survived because of me and awakened a powerful ice ability. This time, she could fend for herself. All of them could. Every person who used me and threw me away, I wanted to watch them meet their end. 6 days left. I grabbed my documents and property papers and left the apartment. Then I called a taxi to the biggest Mercedes dealership in the east side of the city. I walked straight to the showroom and put my hand on a black S-Class. The S650L. Almost 1.5 million yuan. A young salesman looked at my cheap clothes and tried to steer me toward the budget models. This one, I said. He started rattling off specs. I didn't listen. I sat in the driver's seat. Leather everywhere, big screens, premium sound system. Perfect. I heard you have a 0 down payment plan, 48 months? I asked. He hesitated. Said it required strict review for high-quality clients. He was trying to scare me off. I handed him my folder, ID, bank card, and the deed to my apartment. Worth over 1 million. A manager showed up fast after that. All smiles. Best coffee. The paperwork started immediately. I signed everything calmly. I had no intention of making a single payment. The dealership was happy to push their high-interest plan. I was happy to take the car. Everyone got what they wanted. 2 hours later, I drove out of there in a brand-new Mercedes S650L. I headed straight to the bank. My plan was simple. Take out every loan I could before the disaster hit. Bank loans, online loans, private loans, whatever. Pile up as much cash and supplies as possible. My credit score? My repayment record? In 6 days, the world would end. Nobody would be collecting debts. I pulled up to the bank in my new Mercedes. People on the street couldn't stop staring. I walked in and mortgaged my apartment. Because of all the online loans I'd already taken out, the place was only worth about 700,000 now. I didn't care. It was free money. The bank said the cash would arrive in 3 working days. Plenty of time. By noon, I drove to a fancy restaurant I'd walked past 100 times, but never entered. In my old life, I saved every penny and spent most of it on Qianmingshuan. Never even treated myself to a good cup of coffee. Not anymore. I sat by the window, enjoying my food, when I noticed 3 familiar faces across the street. Qianmingshuan, Lin Nan, and Chu Lian. They spotted me too. When I walked out, they were waiting. Hey, pretending not to see us, Lin Nan called out. Qianmingshuan put on her sweet voice. Wang Wei, what a coincidence. I almost laughed. She still thought I was her obedient little follower. Lin Nin pushed right away. Mengxian hasn't had lunch. Shouldn't you treat her? I was going to shut them down, but then I changed my mind. Why embarrass her now when I could have more fun later? I've got something urgent, I said casually. How about coming to my place tonight? Lin Nin scoffed. As if Mengxian would go to your place at night? I didn't say a word. I just took out my keys and pressed the button. The Mercedes beeped. 3 jaws dropped. I got in the car, the black S650L shining in the sun. Chu Lian looked it up on her phone. Listed price over 1.5 million yuan. Qian Mingxuan's face went blank. I reversed and stopped next to them. Rolled the window down. Mengxian, if you're busy tonight, forget it. Then I looked at Lin Nan and smiled. Actually, Lin Nan, I just noticed, you're really beautiful. Message me when you're free. I rolled the window up and drove off. Left all 3 of them standing there in shock. I could imagine the scene after I left. Qian Mingxuan turning on Lin Nan. Who told you to say I wouldn't go to his place? Lin Nan scrambling to explain it away. Both of them wondering if I'd been secretly rich this whole time. Next, I drove to the old part of the city. Found a shabby little pawn shop with half the sign missing. I walked in and asked for Brotherly. A heavy man with a thick gold chain came out and looked me over. I showed him my property deed and car registration. The house is already mortgaged to the bank, he said, frowning. 2 million, I said. House and car, pawned for 1 month. His eyes lit up. He did the math. Even with the bank's claim, the total value was around 3 million. 2 million was a safe bet for him, and his business had ways of making sure nobody cheated him. The interest was brutal. 2% per day. After 1 month, I'd owe 3.2 million total. Deal, I said without hesitating. Brotherly almost couldn't believe how easy it was. He had the contract ready in minutes. I signed it. He transferred the money. 2 million yuan hit my account just like that. He thought he'd found the easiest target of his life. He had no idea that in 6 days, there wouldn't be a world left to collect debts in. I got back in my car and checked my phone. A message from Lin Nan. Wang Wei, it's Lin Nan. I'm free tonight. I'll come to your place. I smiled. The real show was just getting started. I sent Lin Nan my address and drove to the mall. I needed fresh food, meat, vegetables, seasonings, wine, drinks. I only picked the expensive stuff. Filled the whole cart. From my past life, I knew that 3 months before the disaster, all transportation would collapse. No deliveries, no supply runs. Anyone who went out looking for food usually didn't come back. Hunger turned people into animals. Laws and morals meant nothing when survival was at stake. This time, I wasn't going to save anyone. I just wanted to watch. I got home around 4. Set down the groceries. The doorbell rang. Lin Nan. Already here. She dressed up. Nice dress, full makeup, sweet perfume. Quite the transformation from the woman who'd mocked me that morning. Brother Wang. I came to apologize, she said with a shy smile. I let her in. She looked around my apartment. Nothing fancy, but clean. Her eyes landed on the Mercedes key on the coffee table, the imported steak, the bottle of wine. I could see her relax. She'd confirmed what she came to find out. The money was real. Then she started talking about Qian Mingxuan. Told me Mingxuan never took me seriously, that she was seeing other rich guys, that she laughed about my gifts behind my back. Lin Nan was throwing her own friend under the bus without a second thought. I let her talk. None of it surprised me. Then I casually took out my phone, the newest iPhone, and unlocked it where she could see the screen. A bank notification popped up. 2 million yuan. Her eyes went wide. Her breathing changed. That was the moment she decided I was definitely a secret rich heir. She moved to the sofa next to me, put her hand on my arm, started telling me how she'd always admired me, how I was so much better than other men, how she didn't want to miss her chance. I looked at her perfectly manicured hand and smiled. I lifted her chin. I just realized today, you're not materialistic at all. She tried to slow things down, said we were moving too fast. Don't worry, I said. I'll take my time. Afterward, the room went quiet. The sunset faded outside. Lin Nan lay on the sofa looking dazed. She'd come for the money, but she seemed genuinely impressed by the experience. She admitted to herself that none of her past boyfriends had ever come close. I got up and straightened my clothes. Come on, let's go shopping. She jumped up immediately, still tired but eager. I drove her to the mall. We went through store after store. High-end brands. I spent over 100,000 yuan. She carried all the bags, sweating and exhausted. Every single item was for me. I didn't buy her a thing. She didn't complain once. To her, carrying bags for a rich man was an investment. She thought if she held on tight enough, her future was set. She had no idea there was no future to plan for. We got back to my place loaded with bags. Lin pointed at the cold weather gear I'd bought and asked why I needed winter clothes in the middle of summer. I just don't like the cold, I said. I wasn't about to explain that in a few days, extreme weather would tear the world apart. She suggested dinner. I told her we needed to wait for someone. Her face changed the moment I said Qian Mingxuan's name. While we were out shopping, Mingxuan had texted me asking to meet. She couldn't resist finding out the truth about the Mercedes. Lin hesitated. If Mingxuan showed up and found her here, it would be obvious what happened. For about 3 seconds, she considered leaving. Then she grabbed my arm and said, "What's wrong with that? She's my best friend. And your ex-girlfriend." She started trashing Mingxuan again. Told me Mingxuan had spent a whole weekend with some rich guy recently. 3 years I'd chased that woman in my past life, and we barely held hands. Meanwhile, she was off with other men. I didn't care. My feelings for Qian Mingxuan died the moment she got me killed. She was just another name on my list now. And Lin wasn't any better. In my previous life, she and Chu Lian constantly badmouthed me behind my back. They enjoyed watching Qian Mingxuan string me along. I pulled Lin toward the bedroom. She panicked a little. She was still worn out from earlier. But then she realized Mingxuan might arrive any minute, and that seemed to motivate her. She got loud on purpose. My poor neighbor suffered through the whole thing. His wife sat there timing it on her phone. Half an hour. 1 hour. By the end, the husband had given up and gone to the pharmacy downstairs. When it was finally over, I told Lin to get up. Mingxuan was outside. "How do you know?" she asked, pretending to be surprised. I knew because if I didn't open the door soon, the woman on the other side would break it down. Qian Mingxuan was standing there, nails digging into her palms. She'd heard everything. She recognized Lin Nan's voice, the same friend who always mocked me for being poor and desperate. Now that friend was in my bed. Part of her wanted to leave, but she couldn't. If Lin Nan was here, it meant the money was real. That Mercedes was real. Why should Lin get the prize? She took a deep breath, forced a smile, and walked in. She looked stunning. Red dress, white stockings, perfume. She'd come prepared. Then Lin strolled out of the bedroom. Hair messy, dress crooked, walking funny. She acted like she owned the place. "Oh, Mingxuan, why didn't you say you were coming? It's a bit messy. Wang and I were shopping all afternoon." Every word was a knife aimed at Mingxuan's pride. Lin grabbed my arm. Mingxuan's smile almost cracked, but she held it together, stepped forward, and took my other arm. "My friend is here too," she said sweetly. "You should have told me earlier." I stood there with both of them hanging on me, not pushing either one away, just watching them compete with a quiet smile. In my past life, even as the great prophet, no one ever fought over me like this. Having money really did feel good. "Let's go eat," I said, pulling free from both of them before they started fighting and broke something. My supplies were more important than their drama. I walked to the noodle shop near my neighborhood. A small place, husband and wife running it. I ate here all the time. The owner greeted me as usual. Then he saw 2 dressed-up women walk in behind me and froze. In all the years I'd been coming, I'd never brought anyone. "Give them each a bowl of soybean paste noodles," I said. Mingxuan sat next to me. Lin got annoyed, dragged a chair over, and squeezed in on my other side. Lin poured me tea. Mingxuan wiped the table with a wet wipe. I just watched their little war and ate my noodles in peace. They barely touched their food. When I finished, Lin handed me a tissue. Mingxuan went to pay the bill. Funny how things work. 3 years of chasing Mingxuan, spending thousands on her, and she never once treated me this well. Now both of them were fighting to serve me over a bowl of cheap noodles. People talk about money with the poor and feelings with the rich. That's just how it is. It was past 10 when we finished. I figured they'd go home. Instead, both followed me back to my apartment. They even started cleaning my living room. Neither one wanted to leave first. I had an idea. "Lin Nan, come to the bedroom," I said. "I need to talk to you." She glanced at Mingxuan with a little victory smile and followed me in. I asked if she had her ID card. She blushed and said yes. I had her pose for a few photos, her holding up her ID. She was confused but did everything I asked. Then I sent her out. "Qian Mingxuan, your turn," I called. Meng Xuan came in looking nervous, not sure what had happened with Lin Nan. I played it smooth, told her Lin Nan came after me on her own, that the one I truly cared about was still her. She relaxed. Then I asked for her ID card too. Isn't this too fast? She asked. Lin Nan didn't think so, I said. That did it. She couldn't stand losing to Lin Nan. She agreed. Afterward, I walked them both to the door. They finally left, neither wanting to stay and share a roof with the other. The moment the door closed, the smile dropped off my face. I pulled out my phone and looked at the photos. Then I downloaded over a dozen loan apps. Some needed video verification, but plenty had easier requirements. I filled out applications one after another using what I had. By the end of the night, I'd borrowed over 300,000 yuan across multiple platforms. Every resource should be used to its fullest. Nothing wasted. That night, lying in bed, I remembered Chu Lian. She was the third one in that little group, Meng Xuan's other best friend. In my previous life, it was Chu Lian and Lin Nan who encouraged Meng Xuan to test my loyalty by exposing my prophecy. They helped push me toward death. The neighbor's noise started up again through the wall. Annoying. So I texted Meng Xuan and told her to come back. I'd drive her to work in the morning. She was already in a taxi heading home. The moment she read that message, she told the driver to turn around. The idea of showing up at work in my luxury car was too tempting. She came right back. I looked at her standing in my doorway and felt nothing but cold amusement. 3 years of honest devotion got me nowhere. One flash of money, and she came running at midnight. The neighbor had a rough night. The sounds through the wall didn't stop until after 2 in the morning. That was partly on purpose. He'd kept me up earlier, so I returned the favor. Next morning, I drove Meng Xuan to her office during rush hour so everyone could see. At the building entrance, Lin Nan and Chu Lian were walking in together. When the Mercedes pulled up and Meng Xuan stepped out holding my arm, Lin Nan's face went dark. I made things worse on purpose. I waved at Lin Nan, patted her head, and said casually, "After you left last night, Meng Xuan came back. That hit like a bomb." Lin Nan was furious. Meng Xuan was smug. Chu Lian stood there with her mouth open, trying to figure out what happened to the world overnight. Before I left, I smiled at Chu Lian. "Let's all get together sometime." My treat. I drove away and left the 3 of them to tear each other apart. All day, Chu Lian was stuck between her 2 friends who now hated each other. Both blamed the other. Both claimed I was theirs. Their so-called friendship crumbled the moment money entered the picture. Then I got a text from Zhao Lai, my old co-worker. "Brother Wang, did you really quit? In my past life, Zhao Lai had awakened an SSS-level lightning power. He ranked 3rd on the Alliance power list. I saved his life multiple times during the disasters. And he repaid me by leading the crowd on that snowy plain, telling me to walk to my death. I thought about dealing with him now, but decided against it. Inside my safe house I was untouchable, but outside I was still just a regular man. Getting arrested before the disaster would be stupid. I'd handle him later. I went to the office one last time to sign my resignation papers. The receptionist avoided my eyes. My co-workers smirked behind my back. The HR manager docked my pay, withheld this month's salary, and slipped in a clause about pursuing responsibility for leaving without notice. 3 years of loyalty, late nights, and unpaid overtime. This was my reward. I ran into Zhao Lai on the way out. He put on a concerned face. "Take care. Let's keep in touch." I nodded and left. I didn't hear him trash-talking me to the others the moment I walked out the door. But I wouldn't have been surprised. Around noon, I got a message from Chu Lian. She'd spent all morning being squeezed between Meng Xuan and Lin Nan, and she was desperate. "Wang Wei, they stopped talking because of you. Fix this." I looked at the message and smiled. Another one coming to me on her own. Time to see if the power of money worked every single time. "Let's talk in person." I texted Chu Lian and sent her the address of an expensive Western restaurant. She showed up fast, told herself it was for her 2 friends. Sure it was. The menu had gold lettering on thick leather. Wagyu set for 7,800 yuan. Truffle pasta for 3,200. Even juice cost 680 a glass. Chu Lian ordered the most expensive things she could find. Figured she was getting revenge for her friends by making me pay. I didn't mind. I even suggested a burgundy wine to go with the steak. While we waited, she took selfies. When the food arrived, she photographed every dish, adjusted the filters, posted it online with a caption about life's little rituals. She was careful not to tag the location, but anyone who knew the place could tell. She completely forgot why she came. I tested her during the meal. Told her she was different from Mengxian and Lin Nan. More refined, better taste. That hit exactly the right spot. She'd always felt invisible next to her two flashier friends. After lunch, I asked her to come shopping. She hesitated for about half a second, then called in sick from work. We hit the stores. I spent over 100,000 yuan, same as before. Didn't buy her a single thing. Didn't need to. Women like her just needed to see how freely I spent money. That was enough. She ignored messages from both Mengxian and Lin Nan the whole time. When we finished shopping, I drove straight home without asking. She didn't question it. We both knew where this was going. At my apartment, I put my arm around her waist. She acted surprised but didn't resist. She'd already made up her mind before walking through the door. She told herself this was her ticket to a better life. Afterward, she lay there staring at the ceiling and asked why I lived in such a small place when I was so rich. That actually made me think. She had a point. My apartment was too small. I'll move to a bigger place tomorrow, I said. Her eyes lit up. She thought she was special to me. Then I asked if she had her ID card. Same routine as the others. She said yes. I took photos. By the end of the day, I'd squeezed about 10,000 yuan out of Chu Lian through loan apps too. No free lunches in this world. That expensive meal had a price. When Chu Lian saw the money notifications on my phone, I told her to leave. She got dressed fast, looking confused and disappointed. She'd been hoping for another fancy dinner. I shut the door behind her. Her social media post from the restaurant had already set off alarms. Mengxian and Lin Nan had sent her over 30 messages and 7 missed calls. That was her problem now. After she left, I overheard the neighbor couple talking through the wall. His wife was complaining about him staying home from work. He told her he'd been feeling strange. His heart raced every time he tried to go outside, and the feeling had gotten worse since he visited my door that one time. He begged her to stay home too. She thought he was crazy, wanted to take him to the hospital, but I knew better. That man was developing a danger perception ability. He could sense something terrible was coming, even if he couldn't explain it. 4 days before the disaster, and he was already awakening. I needed to move faster. Next morning, I went to a real estate agency across the street. Told them I wanted to buy an apartment, big, ready to move in, decided today. The agent showed me a place in Jingshu Tiancheng. For bedrooms, 178 square meters, modern style, fully furnished. Listed at 3.5 million. I offered 100,000 deposit with a deal. I'd sign the full contract in a month, but move in today. If I broke the agreement, I'd pay 1.1 million in penalties. The owner agreed in 10 minutes. Handed me the keys himself. I wasn't planning to pay a single yuan more. In 3 days, money would be worthless. My online supplies arrived. Over 300,000 yuan worth. Truffle cans, Wagyu beef, caviar, Burgundy wine, solar panels, water purification systems. Everything I needed for 3 months. While I was loading the trucks, the neighbor showed up again. He stared at my emergency supplies with a strange look. Asked if I knew something. I played dumb. I wasn't going to be anyone's prophet this time around. After I drove away with my stuff, the neighbor's ability fully awakened. A-grade danger perception. The voice in his head told him a global disaster was coming. He panicked and started running home, wanting to buy supplies and find me. Too late for that. At my new place, I'd barely sat down when Fatly the loan shark called. He wanted his 2 million back. No interest, just the principal. Turns out he'd awakened to power too. A voice told him about the disaster, and now he was scared. He wanted to build a fortress and needed cash. You're crazy, I told him, and hung up. He sent threats. Said he'd ruin me. I blocked his number and sent one last message. Stop worrying about the end of the world. Go to the hospital. I'll send you 5,000 for the bill. I activated my safe house around my new apartment. 100 square meters of absolute safety. Meanwhile, back at my old place, Mengxian, Lin Nan, and Chu Lian all showed up at my door at the same time, glaring at each other. I wasn't there. I was lying on my new sofa, eating steak and drinking red wine. 2 days left. Online, things were starting to crack. Some guy claiming to be a martial arts master posted a video of himself breaking a steel wrench with his bare hand, then punching a hole through an iron pot on livestream. Thousands of viewers flooded in. Then his account got banned. The authorities were already stepping in. That night, The TV interrupted with an emergency broadcast. The host said there might be extreme weather and geological events soon. Stock 2 weeks of food. Stay home. Keep phones charged. They kept it vague. Didn't mention the end of the world. The internet went crazy with theories. But it was too late for most people. Supermarkets couldn't handle a sudden rush. 2 days wasn't enough to prepare. I walked to the window and looked out at the city lights. Everything looked normal. Beautiful even. But I could see the sky in the distance turning an unnatural dark gray. I raised my glass. Welcome to the new world. Next morning, my phone woke me up again. I checked the screen. 70 or 80 missed calls from Mengxuan, Lin Nan, and Xu Lian. Another 30 from Fat Li. I smiled and created a new group chat. Called it Angel Investor Main Group. Then I sent a video call invitation to all 4 of them. They picked up instantly. The 3 women looked terrible. No sleep, ruined makeup, dark circles under their eyes. Fat Li's greasy face popped up a few seconds later. I yawned. Why is everyone looking for me? The women exploded. You're not even human. All your money was borrowed. You used us for loans. Turns out Fat Li had gone to my old apartment yesterday to collect his debt. He told the 3 women everything. The car was financed. The house was mortgaged. All my cash came from loans and scams. Then, overnight, the loan platforms started calling them, threatening to publish their photos if they didn't pay. It was me, I said calmly. I set up the loans. They went silent for a second. But those loans are illegal, I told them. You don't have to pay them back. Then I pointed out Fat Li in the group. He's an illegal loan shark too. I'm not paying him back either. Fat Li's eyes bulged. Kid, do you think I can't deal with you? Just try, I said. Mengxuan demanded I pay her back for everything. I reminded her I'd spent over 100,000 on her in 3 years of chasing her. Lin Nan and Xu Lian wanted their money too. Consider it the price of breakfast, I said. Then I did something that made all 3 of them scream. I sent the photos I'd taken, the ones with their ID cards, straight into the group chat. They lost their minds. Screaming, cursing, calling me every name they could think of. Fat Li quietly downloaded everything. If things are really that bad, call the police, I suggested. The loans were in my name. Let the law deal with me. Fat Li couldn't call the police. His whole business was illegal. But the 3 women grabbed onto that idea like it was a lifeline. Just wait to go to jail, Mengxuan shouted. You're finished, Lin Nan added. They hung up. That left just me and Fat Li. Aren't you afraid they'll actually call the police? He asked, almost amused. You told me yourself the world is ending, I said. What am I afraid of? He stared at me. You believe it now? Of course I believe it. That's exactly why I'm not paying you back. He cursed, and I hung up. I walked to the window. Jiangnan City looked completely normal. Traffic, people rushing to work, ordinary morning. Nobody took last night's emergency broadcast seriously. They all thought it was just a weather warning. Tomorrow would be the first day of the disaster. Meanwhile, Fat Li was sitting in his villa, fuming. But slowly, the anger turned into something else. He started thinking, why had I borrowed all that money without caring about the interest? Why did I stockpile supplies? Why wasn't I afraid of anything? Then it hit him. Maybe I'd awakened early too. That night, my neighbor from the old apartment moved into the unit across the hall. I watched through the peephole, him and his wife hauling bags and boxes. His danger perception must have led him straight here. He told his wife this was the only place in the whole city where he felt safe. I didn't open the door. In this life, I wasn't getting involved with anyone. The next morning was bright and clear. Everything looked normal. But I knew better. Around 1 in the afternoon, the first disaster would hit, wind blades. By noon, the sky started changing. The sun was still shining, but everything turned a strange reddish yellow. No clouds, just that eerie color spreading across the entire sky. People noticed, took photos, posted online. Some outdoor streamer called, "Farmer Spring Water is a bit salty," pointed his camera at the sky, and started broadcasting live. Then the emergency alarms went off in every major city. Everyone got the same text: go home immediately, stay indoors, do not go outside. The streamer hesitated for 3 seconds. Then he turned the camera on himself and said he'd test the extreme weather personally. Fans went crazy. Gifts flooded the screen. Hearts, planes, yachts. I found the stream and watched. Shook my head. The first day wasn't the worst, but with bad luck, you could still die. His luck was bad. The wind is picking up, he said. But it's very weak. He never finished the sentence. A vein bulged on his neck. Then his head fell off. The stream cut to black. Recordings spread everywhere. The internet exploded with panic. That evening, Jiangnan City's streets were empty. People shared photos of cuts that appeared out of nowhere, wounds that wouldn't heal. Surveillance footage showed animal corpses outside the city, sliced apart like something invisible had cut through them. This was only day one. As I put my phone down, a voice sounded in my head. Successfully survived the first day. Gained 1 safety point. Would you like to upgrade your safe house? I checked my ability right away. 1 safety point could expand the zone from 100 to 200 square meters and extend the duration from 3 days to 4. Upgrade, I said immediately. My heart was racing. The safe house could grow. If I kept surviving, I'd keep earning points. The limit could be broken. Next morning, the sky was still yellow. Wind blades were invisible but deadly. They only attacked exposed living things. Inside buildings or cars, you were safe. Only I knew this. I wasn't telling anyone. My phone was blowing up. Xian Mingxuan had figured out I'd stockpiled supplies early. She asked me to share. I told her to come get it herself, knowing she'd get cut to pieces on the way. She asked me to deliver. I refused. She threatened to call the police. Then she posted photos of my supplies online and messaged everyone I knew. Former co-workers, old classmates, even people I hadn't talked to in years. All suddenly remembered I existed. The neighborhood group chat was tagging me nonstop. I smiled and filmed a slow video tour of my apartment. Stacks of imported steak, 3 full freezers, cases of Maotai and La Fight, a generator, water purifier, medical supplies, cold weather gear. I posted it with a caption, stocked up a little. Should last a few months. Stay strong, everyone. The messages poured in. Share with me, sell me some. I replied to each one personally, only for viewing. Not for sale. Zhao Lai texted me. With our friendship, you won't help? Friendship? I wrote back. You talk behind my back. You think I don't know? He threatened me. Showing off like this. Aren't you afraid of making enemies? I wasn't afraid of anything. Then the government sent another announcement. They'd figured out the wind blades only hurt exposed living things. Stay indoors or in vehicles. Emergency supplies were being distributed. Suddenly, everyone turned on me again. Zhao Lai. Idiot. The government is handing out free supplies. Who needs your stuff? Mengxuan. I reported you to the police. Get ready for jail. The neighborhood group chat exploded with mockery. Called me a clown. A hoarder. A fool. I read every message calmly. Poor, reckless fools. They thought they were safe now. The government's rule about staying indoors only worked for the first 3 days. After that, the wind blades would tear through buildings, cars, everything. That would be the real beginning of hell. The government said they'd distribute supplies. I laughed. They had maybe 2 days before that became impossible. I posted a photo of my breakfast on social media just to stir things up. The comments were vicious, but I enjoyed every one of them while I ate. Everyone relaxed after hearing about the official supplies. Companies announced remote work. The authorities took down videos of the dead streamer and the sliced-up animals. They were trying to keep people calm. It would work for a little while. Not long. With nothing to do, I played a mobile game called Brave Alliance. Everyone stuck at home had the same idea. The game's player count exploded overnight. Then the neighborhood group sent a notice collecting information for supply distribution. Free stuff is free stuff, so I filled it out. My phone rang. Dongqing Police Station. The 3 women had filed a joint report. Fraud, threats, spreading inappropriate material. They wanted me at the station within 24 hours. I'm out of town traveling. I lied smoothly. I'll come the day after tomorrow. The officer agreed. 9 in the morning, day after tomorrow. I hung up and thought. The day after tomorrow, nobody would be going anywhere. Then my doorbell rang. Old Zhang from across the hall, my former neighbor who'd followed me to this building. He stood there holding bags of vegetables and fruit, trying to look casual. Neighbors help each other, right? He said. I took the bag. He tried to fish for information about how long the weather would last. I gave him nothing useful. He went home shaking. Through the safe house, I could sense his conversation with his wife. He told her being near me felt like being in his mother's arms, total safety. His danger perception was pointing straight at me. Meanwhile, the group chat I'd created exploded again. Mengxuan, Lin Nan, and Chu Lian were celebrating that the police had called me. Insults flew. Deadbeat, idiot, trash. I blocked them from messaging me directly. then quietly started posting their photos in the group. One by one. Front shots, side shots, ID shots. The insults stopped instantly. Delete them, they screamed. Keep insulting me, I typed. Every insult gets a photo sent to my entire friend list. A few hundred people. Won't take long, dead silence. Fatly popped up in the chat offering 10,000 yuan per photo. I told him I'd think about it. He messaged me privately, offering to forget the 2 million if I shared information about the disaster. I told him to transfer 2 more million and I might talk. He lost it. Am I your ATM? I put down my phone and walked to the window. The sky was getting darker. The wind was picking up. News from foreign websites confirmed this was happening worldwide. Floods on the west coast, snowstorms in Scandinavia, frost at the equator. Casualties everywhere. People finally understood. This wasn't just weird weather. This was global. At midnight, the voice came again. Successfully survived the second day. Gained 1 safety point. My safe house was still at 200 square meters with a 4-day duration. I needed 2 points for the next upgrade. 1 more day of survival, and I'd have enough. Then my phone rang. Unknown number. I answered. Mr. Wang Wei, this is Du Wei from the National Security Agency. I recognized the name immediately. In my past life, he was one of the key leaders who built the Human Alliance. He knew everything. The loans, the supplies, the mortgage. He asked if I'd awakened any abilities. No, I said. Just lucky. He didn't believe me. He invited me to join something called the Human Awakener Alliance. Those words hit me like needles. They'd already formed the alliance, even without my warnings. Sorry, I said. I haven't awakened anything. He tried the guilt card. Hundreds of millions of lives. The bigger picture. Think of your fellow citizens. The bigger picture. The same words they used before they killed me. I'm willing to contribute to humanity, I said, my voice cold as ice. But I truly don't know anything. Long silence. Then he said he understood and hung up. I walked to the window. The city was still glowing with light. But I knew those lights would go dark soon, one by one. Whoever wants to save the world this time can go ahead. I'm done. 3rd day of the disaster. The sky was still that ugly yellow, but people were going outside. Someone figured out you could avoid the wind blades by covering yourself completely. A guy in a full hazmat suit live-streamed himself walking around with his hand in the air. Nothing happened. People dug out their old pandemic quarantine gear and started strolling through the streets like it was a holiday. Then the official supplies arrived. Just a few bags of vegetables, but it was enough to make everyone feel safe. And that's when the mocking really started. My old neighborhood group chat blew up. Everyone was laughing at me. The guy who borrowed money to hoard supplies. The idiot with the 0 down payment car. Someone's friend at the dealership had leaked that I didn't even pay a deposit. My whole story was out there. The loans, the stockpiling, all of it. Wang Wei must be crying over his supplies right now. Share some with us. You won't need them anyway. Biggest fool online. Zhao Lai was the loudest. Sent me a whole string of messages calling me a dummy, saying my food would go moldy. He was loving every second. Meng Xuan, Lin Nan, and Chu Lian piled on too. Called me a scumbag, a show-off, a fraud. I quietly sent a few more of their photos into the group. That shut them up for a bit. Then I checked TikTok. I was trending. Number 1. Top person for stockpiling with high-interest loans. Someone had downloaded all my social media posts and spread them everywhere. My full name, my address, my building number, all exposed. My new neighborhood group started buzzing too. People figured out I was in building 1, 4th floor. They tagged me, asking if I wanted free vegetables from the committee. I put my phone down and looked out the window. People were gathering below, live streaming, waving vegetables at the camera, celebrating. Every face said the same thing. See? It was nothing. I knew it all along. I watched them for a long time. Then I smiled. Not a happy smile. More like pity. Laugh all you want. Enjoy it while you can. Tomorrow, I hope you can still smile. I went back to my phone and made a post. Post-apocalyptic record. Safe house diary. Day 3. Mood. Cyberbullied. But I feel nothing. Tomorrow's menu. Milk and bread for breakfast. Steak with red wine for lunch. The sky is still red and yellow. The wind is getting stronger. Night is coming. The comments exploded. More laughing. More mocking. People calling me delusional, telling me to wake up and go get my free vegetables. But somewhere in the National Emergency Command Center, Du Wei was staring at my post on a big screen. Wind getting stronger. Night is coming. He repeated slowly. His assistant suggested I was just showing off. He raised his hand to shut her up. He probably really knows something, Dewey whispered. He was right. I did. And I wasn't telling anyone. My post blew up overnight. Someone copied it and got 100,000 likes in 10 minutes. Everyone online knew me now, #1 in loan stockpiling. The comments were brutal. People called me crazy, said I'd read too many novels, told me to see a psychiatrist. I scrolled through the insults and felt nothing. Just laugh it off, I whispered. It'll only last a day or two. Then I noticed the copycat blogger was gaining followers fast off my content. That annoyed me. Why should someone else ride my traffic? I made my own account. Filmed a video of my apartment. The stacked cans, the steaks, the wine, the cold weather gear, all of it. Posted it with a simple caption. I'm the one who mortgaged my house and took high-interest loans to stockpile. Want to see the end of the world record? Follow me. I tossed my phone aside and ate bread in front of the TV. At midnight, the voice came again. Successfully survived the third day. Gained 1 safety point. I had 2 points saved up. Enough to upgrade. Upgrade, I said. The safe house expanded to 300 square meters. Duration, 5 days. Cooldown still 3 days. Next upgrade would cost 4 points. I slept well that night. Day 4. I got up early for once and looked outside. More people than ever on the streets. After yesterday's brave volunteers proved you could go out in full gear, everyone dropped their guard. Cars on the road. People chatting. It looked almost normal. But I noticed the trees swaying harder than before. The wind was getting stronger. Nobody else seemed to care. Today was the last safe day. Tomorrow, the wind blades would stop caring about walls and clothes. They'd cut through everything. I checked my phone after breakfast. My follower count had hit 347,000 and was still climbing. Over 200,000 comments. Every single one mocking me. Official supplies are here. Your stuff is going to rot. Is this the apocalypse or a vacation? Steak, wine, and gaming. Borrowed money to hoard food. Must be mentally ill. Follow this guy, he's one of a kind. I read through them slowly. 300,000 followers and not a single kind word. I smiled. Then I opened my profile and pressed Start Live Broadcast. The camera faced the mountain of supplies behind me. I looked straight into it and spoke calmly. You all want to see? Today I'll show you live. Watch carefully. This is not a joke. This is the last real record before the end of the world. I started my live stream at 10:17 in the morning. Called it End of the World Record. Wong Wei. For 10 seconds, nobody showed up. Then the first viewer came in. Then 10. Then 100. Within 3 minutes, almost 4,000 people were watching. All there to laugh at me. I sat in front of the camera sipping coffee, saying nothing. The comments flew by. Is that the lone stockpiling fool? Why isn't he talking? Come on. Tell us how it feels now that supplies are free. 5 minutes in, 12,000 viewers. 10 minutes, almost 40,000. 15 minutes, over 100,000. I was trending. I put down my coffee and finally spoke. Tomorrow is the real end of the world. The comments went insane. The prophet is online. This guy's lost his mind. Someone call the mental hospital. 300,000 viewers. Still climbing. I kept going. Told them the wind blades would get stronger tomorrow. That people on the streets would be cut to pieces. The comments were a wall of laughter, insults, and report threats. Spreading rumors can land you in jail. Report him. Wait. Don't report. This is too funny. I watched it all with no expression. Then I smiled. I'm just telling you. Whether you believe it is your choice. Someone asked why I was even live streaming. I said the truth. To make money. I had high-interest loans to pay off. The comments shifted instantly. They thought I was going to sell my supplies at a discount. Will there be a sale? I'll buy everything at 1/10 price. I nodded like I was thinking about it. If tomorrow passes and you're still alive, I might share some. Almost 1 million viewers now. The comments exploded with anger. What do you mean still alive? Are you cursing us? Report this guy. 1 million viewers. #1 trending nationwide. #1 in local topics. #1 in popular live streams. I stood up and walked around the apartment with my phone, showing everything. Hundreds of cans. 20 bags of rice. 15 bags of flour. Wine stacked floor to ceiling. Generator, protective suits, medical supplies. The comments shifted a little. Did he move an entire supermarket in there? Guys. I suddenly kind of believe him. I sat back down. Finished watching? After tomorrow, if you're still alive, I might stream again. Why does this guy keep cursing? I smiled one last time. If you're alive tomorrow, leave me a message. I'll start the stream on time. Screenshot. We'll check tomorrow. If nothing happens, he's getting cyber-bullied to death. I clicked in live. The screen went dark. I walked to the window. The trees were swaying harder than ever. The sky was that deep reddish yellow. My phone buzzed with over 90,000 unread comments. I opened a few random ones. Idiot, if nothing happens tomorrow, you're finished. You're the biggest joke online. Waiting to see you get exposed. I put the phone down. Tomorrow they'd all find out. And by then, it would be too late. After Wang Wei's live stream ended, the whole internet exploded with activity. Comments, trending topics, and social media were filled with discussions about Wang Wei, creating an unusually lively scene. Many netizens began to report Wang Wei's live streams and videos in large numbers, accusing him of false advertising, causing social panic, and misleading the public. They even complained about his social media accounts. People familiar with online rules knew that when content was suspected of violating regulations or causing public outrage, reports usually led to quick action. Videos taken down within half an hour, accounts banned. This was a common practice, and no one doubted the effectiveness of reporting. But this time, everyone was stunned. After the mass reports were sent, time passed second by second. Neither the platform's response nor the status of the accounts and content changed at all, like stones sinking into the sea, with no reply. Even more surprising, many curious netizens captured key clips from Wang Wei's live stream, edited and reposted them. Some recorded the entire stream and replayed it. These derivative contents remained untouched, not flagged as violations, nor removed or banned. Could it really be? I reported him 3 times, but nothing happened. Is the platform just ignoring this? They're not handling such panic-inducing streams. Could it be? What he said is actually going to happen. Stop talking nonsense. It's definitely just hype. But why is reporting useless? Everyone's at home. Maybe the platform isn't reviewing reports now. That makes sense. For a moment, Wang Wei became the hottest topic across the internet. However, everyone thought Wang Wei was just trying to attract attention and gain views without any shame. Some sarcastically added, being hated and still popular. That's how he's making tons of money. But none of this affected Wang Wei. He turned off the live stream backend, looked at the endless discussions on his phone, and showed no emotion. He had already expected how people would react. He never really believed anyone would believe him. On the contrary, what he wanted was this effect, making everyone think his warning was just a joke or a stunt to attract attention. When the disaster strikes tomorrow, those who mocked and doubted him will see their joke turn into reality. I wonder what their expressions will be then. Wang Wei even feels a bit excited. He hopes these people will still be alive tomorrow. Will something really happen tomorrow? Li Pengzi suddenly sent a message. It's fake, Wang Wei replied casually. It's just a live stunt to make money and pay debts. Pay debts? What debts? Li Pengzi asked. Looks like it's real. Wang Wei was a bit surprised to see Li Pengzi's message. He didn't expect this creditor to believe him. Think what you want, Wang Wei said, not explaining much. I've also awakened a power, Li Pengzi sent again. I know a little about it. What kind of power did you awaken? Wang Wei asked, curious. In his past life, he knew about most awakened people with some strength. Partial physical enhancement, Li Pengzi replied straightforwardly with 5 words. Wang Wei's mind moved, and he quickly sent another message. Did the Alliance contact you? After a moment, Li Pengzi replied, yes, but they didn't want me. Huh. Wang Wei was surprised to see Li Pengzi's message. The Alliance usually welcomes awakened people, even those with ordinary abilities, and includes them in their group. Why would they reject someone who awakened a physical enhancement ability early in the disaster? Even a simple physical boost can be very useful at the start of a disaster, so rejection seems unlikely. Wang Wei thought for a moment, quickly typing on his screen, which part of your body did you enhance? In just a couple of seconds, Li Pengzi's reply came. My second brother, Wang Wei. He doubted he read it right. He waited another second, and Li Pengzi's message popped up again, still the same 2 words. My second brother, Wang Wei. Looking at the repeated words on the screen, Wang Wei was momentarily speechless. Li Pengzi seemed worried he wouldn't understand, so he added, it's the one you think. Don't pretend you don't get it. Wang Wei put down his phone, unable to help but rub his forehead, feeling both amused and helpless. No wonder the Alliance didn't want him. This ability really seemed useless. Before he could respond, Li Pengzi's messages kept coming, full of excitement. Do you really know what will happen tomorrow, right? Why not just say it directly? Save the world, brother. Imagine becoming famous then. So exciting. Save the world? Wang Wei sneered coldly. Who would save him if the world needed saving? In his past life, he tried his best to protect those around him. But in the end, he was betrayed and died tragically. In this life, he wouldn't be a hero anymore. Other people's lives and deaths didn't matter to him. He didn't reply to Li Pengzi. His eyes fell on another group chat in his phone. The patron group, the three women, Qian Mingxuan, hadn't made any moves at all. He was mocked online, yet they didn't take advantage of the situation? That didn't seem like their style. Are they scared? Wang Wei muttered to himself. Or are they planning something sneaky? He didn't know that Qian Mingxuan and the others really didn't dare to provoke him anymore. At least, before the police caught him, they had agreed. Never contact Wang Wei proactively again. Every time they mocked him, he would post photos in the group, photos they really didn't want to see a second time. Successfully survived the third day of the disaster, gained one safety point. Just after midnight, Wang Wei earned another safety point. But now, upgrading the safe house requires 4 points, and the next upgrade will take 3 days. Fortunately, Wang Wei wasn't short on time. As long as he stayed at home, the safe house could keep upgrading. Now, a 300 square meter area was enough. If it keeps expanding like this, could the safe house really cover the whole world? Wang Wei couldn't help but marvel silently, a strange thought crossing his mind. But after the thought, he shook his head slowly, feeling it was unlikely. After all, each upgrade only added 100 square meters. Trying to cover the whole world with a safety shelter by expanding 100 square meters each time would take an impossible amount of time. Maybe, even if I spent my whole life, I couldn't do it. Wang Wei withdrew his thoughts, lay on the bed, and slowly closed his eyes. Tomorrow, the real disaster will arrive as scheduled. I wonder how many people will die this time. The next morning, Wang Wei woke up, washed quickly, and got ready. According to his past memories, today at 10 o'clock, the wind blades will start their indiscriminate attack. It should be about that time now. Wang Wei went to the window, pulled back the curtain, and looked outside. The sky was still a dull yellow, and many residents in the neighborhood were walking around fully armed. Not far away, cars were driving on the road, sparse but normal. It looked like everything was normal. No, it was more normal than yesterday. Under Wang Wei's watch, the wind suddenly stopped. The tree branches that had been swaying in the wind froze in place. Many people noticed this scene. The wind has stopped. Is it over? Huh. No wind anymore. Can we take off our protective suits now? In the neighborhood, dozens of residents stopped and looked up at the still trees, smiling. Someone sent a message in the residents' chat group. The alarm is off, right? I knew there was no end-of-the-world thing, just scare tactics. As soon as the message was sent, over a dozen replies flooded in. Haha, I was about to go out too. That streamer Wang Wei made a lot last night. Maybe he should refund today. Refund? That's voluntary tipping. It's just smart spending. Wang Wei glanced at the time on his phone, 9:57. He opened the live stream. The end of the world records. Wang Wei, live broadcast started at 9:57 in the morning. In just 1 minute, over 10,000 people flooded into the stream, and the numbers kept rising. The comments flooded in like a wave. Wow, isn't this the end of the world prophet? Where are the wind blades? The wind has stopped now. Where are they? Ha ha ha, this is hilarious. The streamer got a lot of tips last night, and today he's announcing the end of the world is cancelled. Business is good. Do you all understand what's happening? This is called business sense. Create anxiety first, then harvest the leaks, people who are easily influenced. Once the leaks are gone, the end of the world will naturally not happen. Damn, I was so scared last night that I rushed to the supermarket and bought 3 boxes of instant noodles, waiting in line for 2 hours. Wang Wei, you owe me time. To the person upstairs, the instant noodles are still good. Keep them and eat them slowly. The end of the world? Maybe it will come tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow, or the day after that. Don't say I didn't warn you. Today, the wind has stopped. The sky is a bit yellow, but it's not a big problem. Wang Wei, I predict the end of the world will happen today. End of the world. Okay, I'll leave work early. Ha ha ha. The online commenters are so mean. I love it. Wang Wei, where are you? Why aren't you talking? Maybe he didn't expect the wind to stop. Now he's probably feeling awkward and doesn't know how to explain. Wang Wei looked at the comments, expressionless, with less than 2 minutes left. The mockery online was overwhelming, even more intense than yesterday's doubts. On the trending list, Wang Wei's prediction fails had become the top topic, with over 100 million views. Popular bloggers didn't miss this chance to get attention. Since 8 a.m., many outdoor streamers appeared on the streets, fully dressed, live streaming the last moments before the end of the world. Everyone, watch carefully. A streamer named Tao Ventures stood in the city square, wearing a full, transparent raincoat, making funny faces at the camera. I'm right here outside. Come on, zoom in. Let me see where the legendary wind blade is. Huh, where is it? He aimed the camera at the sky and spun around 360 degrees. Nope, nothing, just a bit yellow. The sky is as empty as my ex-girlfriend's heart, completely empty. Comments flooded the screen. Haha, a Tao is so funny. Ex-girlfriend, are you polite? A Tao is awesome. Expose the scammer. Let Wang Wei see what real traffic looks like. What a real streamer. A Tao played it well. I'm starting my own live stream now. Everyone, let's fight fake news. A Tao watched his live stream with over 10,000 viewers, grinning happily. His usual streams only had 300 or 400 viewers, sometimes just over 1,000. Today, riding the wave of the fact-checking trend, the number of supporters quickly reached 12,000 and kept rising. Thanks for everyone's support, he said with a fist salute. Today, we'll stay here in the square and wait until 10 o'clock to see what that wind blade really looks like. Everyone, please share this so Wang Wei can see it. At that moment, a Tao suddenly realized that Wang Wei was also live streaming. Everyone, Wang Wei is live now, he exclaimed excitedly. Should I connect with him? Ask him directly where his wind blade went. Connect now? Let's give him a good surprise. Quick, connect. Haha, I want to see the moment the scam is exposed. Come on, a Tao. We support you. The chat in the live stream was full of shouting. Okay, let's do it, everyone. A Tao started to request a connection. He was a bit nervous inside. After all, he was just a small streamer, while Wang Wei was a popular streamer with millions of followers yesterday. But unexpectedly, his connection request was approved immediately. Wow! Everyone, a Tao exclaimed happily. Wang Wei accepted. He really accepted. On the screen, 2 live streams appeared side by side. On the left was a Tao, wearing a plastic raincoat, standing in the square with people passing by behind him.